So in this tutorial, we're going to look at ways at which you can manipulate audio using some of the other features of Logic, which we haven't covered in other tutorials yet. So I've created these audio files for this purpose. We've got, they're all at 135 BPM, apart from this vocal, which is at 96 BPM. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to import these into an empty project. So open up Logic. I've just got this bar up here, and I'm going to go to New. And it's eventually will come up, and it will ask me what type of track I want to create. So I want to create an audio track in this case, and to do that, so I'll just minimize this window a little bit so I can find that audio. Here it is. And now I'm gonna, first thing I really should do before I forget is save the project. So you go save as, and you called it whatever. I'm calling it Boom Test 1. So that's created a folder now for all the files to go into, so we don't get messy. And the first things I want to put in are the kick drum. So just drag, literally just drag it in. It'll ask you to import the tempo, and that's fine. Do that. And we're going to do the funky boom loop. And we're going to do the hat and chord. And I believe the last one is the bass. So here we go. At this point, we just want to mix to make sure that we've got nice levels for everything. So play it. So you see we're clipping here first off. So let's just pull all the levels down. I'm going to open up the mixer. The shortcut for that is X on the keyboard. And here are my channels. So I'm just going to like highlight them all and just bring them all down to begin with. So I've got some headroom. So this is drop out the bass for a minute. See what we got. So we've got the kick drum. We've got this loop. And we've got this hi-hat loop with a little chord. And bassline. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is how to reverse audio in this window. So I'm going to copy this loop using the Alt key and moving it, so that copies it there. And then I'm going to look at the end of this. I'm going to reverse the end part of this loop. So to do that, it's really important that you highlight this and make it a separate piece of audio. Now I'm using the Marquee tool, which is in my secondary tools here. And that highlights the area that I want to select, and then I click on it and it will create a new region. Now this is not the same as a new piece of audio. It's still attached to this. This is like just a cut, if you like, for visual purposes, but actually there's no change yet. So then I have to Ctrl-click it, and you convert it to a new audio file, and that's fine. You can call it whatever you like. And now that is a separate audio file. Now I can't pull that out anymore this way or that way. It is its own thing. So let's double click on that, and it brings it up into this editor down here. Now there's two areas of this editor. There is, for some reason it's made me go over there. Let's just highlight this loop. So there it is. That's the loop there. So I've made this a new piece of audio, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse it. So we've got track here. We've also got file, so that's the one I want to click on, and this is another area of the editor. So this is more like the sample editor that we've looked at in the EDEXCEL before. And so that's this piece of a file here, and we can go to the functions and basically press reverse, and that's it. So that sounds a bit weird still, so I'm going to do the same thing to the kick drum. So I'm going to highlight that with the Marquee tool, Control-click it, convert to new audio file, and again functions, reverse it, and then I'm just going to make so we don't have the hi-hat at that point, and it sounds like this. There we go. And now I'm just going to copy this whole section. I'm going to copy this whole section here, and that's going to be my first little bit that I'm going to mess around with. Okay, so now we're going to look at the flex function. Now flex allows you to edit the timing of all the individual pieces of audio, and it's a very clever little algorithm. And so if you press Command F on the keyboard, it will bring up your flex features here. So what we need to do is we need to analyze these pieces of audio to begin with. And we do that by just clicking on here and going right, automatic. Now that should automatically decide that the beats are sliced, and that's right, that makes sense. Actually, let's just to begin with by just flexing them all. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to change the tempo to 96 BPM now, and you're going to hear what happens. So it sounds a bit weird. Now, if you can change these parameters here. So at the moment it's slicing the audio, but say if I use rhythmic, for example, that might make it sound different. It does make it sound worse. Let's try polyphonic. I think that's probably going to be the best one for this. That sounds okay, but we're only going to be like this for a minute because what we really want to do now is import the vocal at 96 BPM. So drag that in. Now hopefully this will be in time.
Check me, I'm on a beach show. They took me underground, but I came out free. So you walk around here with your suit and your tie, and I'm the guy with the fire to inspire mind.
So right, okay, it's analysed this audio, and now if I put it back up to 135 BPM, it should.
Check me, I'm on a beach show. They took me underground, but I came out free. So you walk around here with your suit and your tie, and I'm the guy with the fire to inspire mind.
Cool. So now I've got a vocal that I can mess around with. Now there's loads of things you can do with vocals like this. Chopping it up, you could put it in a sampler, but I'm just going to look at it how you can deal with the audio in this arrange page. So the first thing I do, I was just going to hide the flex time by pressing Command F again. It's still on, but it's just not visible. So I can just treat the audio as audio. So first thing I do is just going to bring this up to the beginning here. It actually starts just before the bar, so be careful about that. And I'm just going to create a couple of new tracks down here, which I'm then going to chop this audio using the Marquee tool, and just drag that down onto different tracks. So let's just mute that. Make sure that you've got flex turned on all these tracks. So let's just chop another bit up.
Check me, I'm on a beach show. They took me underground.
They took me underground. So let's highlight that bit. Is it there?
They took me underground.
Yeah. Okay. So put that on another one.
Check me, I'm on a beach show. They took me underground, but I came out free. So check me.
So let's try some panning first. So we're going to pan that one there. We'll take that bit, put that on this one, and we'll pan that over there.
Check me, I'm on a beach show. They took me underground. Check me, I'm on a beach show. They took me underground.
And then I'm going to create a new track, just duplicate that one. And I'm going to take that ground. I'm going to put a delay on that. So put it down another track and just insert a delay in that, say a tape delay. Let's see what that does.
Check me, I'm on a beach show. They took me underground.
Taking rid of that note.
Check me, I'm on a beach show. They took me underground. Check me, I'm on a beach show. They took me underground. Check me, I'm on a beach show. They took me underground.
So let's put on a pitch shifter on that. Let's try that. And this brings up this one. And so it's going to, at the moment, it's set to semitones fifth. Let's go down 4.
They took me underground. I'm on a beach show. They took me underground. I'm on a beach show. They took me underground.
So yeah, that is a basic demonstration. There's obviously a few more things you could do to it than that, and I might look at that in another few videos, but at this moment I think that's probably going to be enough for people to be getting on with, and they'll be using a pitch shifter, a bit of panning and delay. Alright, let's bring in some more audio. Let's bring in the 303, distorted 303 line. Let's put that in. So that's going to start from the top. That's kind of the whole track, really.
Check me, I'm on a beach, yo. They took me on the ground. Check me, I'm on a beach, yo. They took me on the ground.
So yeah, that goes on like that. And so let's just go through at this point. Let's just show you some basic automation. So let's have a listen to this loop on its own. So we can use a filter. We insert a filter. Let's try just the auto filter, and set the cutoff up to 100%, and bring that. So that's where it's going to start, and we put it into automation read mode, and let's put it into latch, and we're just going to record this coming up to the first break at bar 9.
Check me, I'm on a beach, yo. They took me on the ground.
That's it. Now I'll put that back into read, and that will automate that. I can look at that if I press A on the keyboard. We've got auto cutoff here, and that's it. That's that bit of automation. So let's bring this up, and you can see how it moves the parameter.
Check me, I'm on a beach, yo. They took me on the ground.
There you go. Right, so that's that basically. You've done the filtering. So now we're going to, we've got our breakdown. We've got our big lead line that we want to come in. So we just drag in this last one. We want that to come in at bar 33. And you can import the tempo, that's not a problem. And that's our MIDI. This is MIDI. So this doesn't actually, if we listen to this, it will just be a piano. And what we want to do is we want it to sound like this. It's very loud. And so yeah, what you need to do is find a synthesizer which sounds like that. Try the Alchemy. That's probably a good one. And if you look at some of the leads there, lead sounds, if you go through here, we go leads, there we go, and something quite heavy. You might even find something that's better, which is fine, or just add the two together, so something that make it even more epic. And then whack the vocal in there at some point. So put it there, and then we'll put it there. And we could do more with the vocal, I'm sure you can.
I'm on a beach, yo. They took me on the ground. I'm on a beach, yo. They took me on the ground.
And then go back to that. So this video has really been a look at how you can use audio creatively, how you can edit it in a creative way. There's many more things to do, which I'll cover in other videos, but that basically is a task for you to have a mess around with this audio and see what you can do with it. So have fun with that, and let me know how you go.